Historically, arts therapies emerged as a way of helping soldiers cope with the ordeal and traumas they suffered during fighting in World War II. Edward Adamson, the father of art therapy, began his work in a mental asylum in 1946, where painting was prescribed as a form of treatment. He was instrumental in forming the British Association of Art Therapists in 1964. From there on, art therapists began to work in a range of clinical settings. Funding cuts from the government has seen a change in how the NHS works, and jobs have been lost. However, with the recent highlighting of mental health issues, there seems like there has never been more of an important time for art therapists to extend their reaches into the community and to begin to work with other healthcare professionals, including GPs. It has been recognised that our practice has begun to evolve to reflect the cultural and social diversity of the people who need it most. Art therapists and community-based artists began to look at working in unclinical settings to tackle mental health and well-being. Museums, galleries and other creative spaces are already embedded into the community and can offer opportunities for partnerships, funding and a chance to work with a wide range of people. With the NHS and other professionals looking towards social prescribing for well-being in the community, a move towards therapies being used in unclinical settings has the backing of the British Association of Art Therapists and many more. London Arts in Health Forum supports artists and health professionals across the whole of London and beyond, promoting and extending the arts to communities and individuals who may otherwise be excluded. They believe that the arts can contribute to a more healthy society and are encouraging the use of the arts in settings beyond the mainstream. The organisation has been instrumental in developing the National Alliance for Museums and Wellbeing, which involve arts-based projects, and in establishing an all-new party parliamentary group on arts, health and wellbeing. I spoke to Laura Bedford, a project coordinator for the Alliance.
So I think, I suppose for those people that are in clinical environments most of the time, obviously museums can offer something quite different, a kind of safe, comfortable space and welcoming space for people that are used to clinical environments. I think in terms of their kind of assets, things like collections, their indoor and outside spaces and objects, they could offer things like lifelong learning opportunities, so good for your mental health, opportunities to share your own experiences, either through kind of volunteering or sharing stories, kind of linked to the collections. There's also opportunities to be creative and also to connect and kind of be sociable with other people. So I think that's really important.
The National Alliance for Museums, Health and Wellbeing are striving to encourage the use of arts within museum settings and are looking towards art therapists for their experience and knowledge. They are highlighting and evidencing the impact that the arts can have on wellbeing and are promoting the use of arts to improve mental and physical health problems. Essentially, they are all about the effects that active engagement in museums, which are already installed in the community, can have on a variety of people. The All-Party Parliamentary Group on Arts, Health and Wellbeing launched in January 2014. It sees peers and MPs with a shared interest in the field of arts come together. The inquiry, published in July 2017, is a report setting out comprehensive evidence and numerous examples of practice which demonstrates the beneficial impact of the arts. They call for a willingness to accept that the arts can make a contribution to addressing a number of issues faced by our health and social care systems. It evidences how arts-based approaches can help people stay well, manage long-term conditions and experience a better quality of life.
It would be lovely to have stable partnerships between art therapists and museums. It's difficult to say how that would necessarily work because it would very much depend on whether the art therapists were in the NHS or working privately or working for some other kind of organisation. And obviously museums have different kind of setups. So I think it would have to be done on a kind of case-by-case basis. But it would be lovely to think that there are ongoing partnerships where it's a kind of fluid experience, I suppose, for the participants, where they're going between sort of health services and cultural venues in a very seamless kind of way.
Ali Coles, a lecturer in art therapy at the University of South Wales, recently filmed a webinar on working in museums and galleries. She believes that museum objects can evoke feelings in people, and in the viewing of these artefacts, reflection on ourselves can happen. She goes on to say that museums value objects, and this could be good for people who don't value themselves or may not feel valued by others. Non-clinical environments such as galleries and museums can inspire people with the collections they have and can also foster social inclusion.
In recent times, museums have been working really hard to try to encourage other people from the local community to come to their museums, not just the traditional white middle class visitors. And I think with this kind of community development work or audience development work, just reframing it slightly around kind of health and well-being can really kind of make a difference to your local community. So I think there's a lot of historic parallels between what museums are doing now.
As the NHS looks to social prescribing to help treat over 850,000 people today, 2 million by 2025, Ben Urie looks to be an active part of this solution by exploring different ways in which art can support and improve mental and physical health.
That means that the participants have been to the gallery to see the artwork, actually seen it in situ, but they also have reproductions brought into the day centre, and it's this unique bringing together of an art therapist, the clients and actual artworks, which is really special and really different.
So there seems to be an emerging partnership between museums, galleries, arts and the therapies. With the NHS looking at preventative approaches to tackle mental health issues, collaboration with GPs, nurses and healthcare workers is essential. The Social Prescribing Network has gained momentum recently and is looking at how community-based organisations, including art therapists, can help individuals using a non-drug method. This could range from exercise classes, gardening clubs, music and community arts projects. Cultural commissioning programmes from the NHS, like this one in Gloucester, are paving the way for wellbeing and arts in the communities.
So the cultural commissioning programmes come at a really useful time. It sets out a new understanding on how commissioners, both in local government and the NHS, can think about commissioning arts or cultural organisations.
Commissioning has very much traditionally focused on the medical model because of a perception of the evidence base. But I think things are changing and we need to think about the whole person and think about a more rounded assessment of where we invest to deliver the most well-being.
The putting together of the organisations, the NHS, the therapists, the groups, the healthcare workers seems a daunting task, but it has been proved that it can work and it can be successful. Future collaboration is essential, and reconstructing our work around others seems to be the way forward for putting the patient in the middle of the treatment.
Some museums have been doing kind of social prescribing type projects before. So, for example, museums have been working with the local GPs or maybe local charities or third sector organisations who've been referring people to the museum to take part in different activities. But things like trying to find partners or trying to convince GPs around the kind of the value of referring people along to projects can take time and quite a lot of research and kind of building that trust. So in terms of the social prescribing and the NHS, so GPs actually having it as part of their official menu of things that they can offer to people on a sort of non-medicalised approach, I think would really help museums because it's kind of been formalised. It means that GPs actually are on board and you don't have to convince them, and actually you can reach the right people because some museums are doing really well at reaching the right people who kind of need support, but other museums are really struggling to find the right partners to work with.
There seems to be a change happening nationally, centring around the importance of good mental health. With a range of organisations becoming involved, there is a need for experiencing and understanding for dealing with difficult situations clients can bring. Taking us back to the days of Adamson, could we see art therapy being put back on prescription?